The metaverse is a digital universe concept that is taking the world by storm that any of us can access via our phones or computers, and it is an online marketplace that some people are paying millions of dollars to participate in. If you've never heard of the metaverse before, then you're not alone, but something tells me that these digital universes are going to be making headlines more and more over the coming years as people and investors flock to this increasingly popular form of virtual reality. In today's video, we are going to talk about what the heck a metaverse is, Facebook's recent involvement in the metaverse, what a metaverse looks like, and then last we'll get into how real estate is becoming literally the foundation in which metaverses are built on. If you're new to my channel, my name is Scott. I'm a real estate investor myself, but this whole concept of digital real estate is definitely new to me. After diving into the topic though, I've got to say, I'm really intrigued and I might need to be diversifying my portfolio into some metaverse real estate sometime soon. Anyways, if you're into real estate related content, think about hitting the subscribe button down below because I'm putting out new videos every week. Okay, so I'm guessing at least half the people who clicked on this video either have never heard of the metaverse or don't know much about it. So first, let's talk about what the metaverse is. To put it super simply, the metaverse is kind of like a video game where you play a digital version of yourself and you have the option of living your life a lot like you would live your life here on Earth. These metaverses are meant to be alternate realities that allow you to do a lot of the things that you would be able to do in real life, like make friends, get married, pick up hobbies, work a job, go out to eat, or even build a house for yourself. This isn't an entirely new concept because there are other video games out there that have an immersive experience like this, like Fortnite or Roblox or GTA, but the metaverse is unique in that it is based on a blockchain technology, which makes it much easier to govern and hold people accountable due to the nature of a blockchain being a digital ledger. Not to go too down the rabbit hole here, but the definition of blockchain is a system in which a record of transactions made in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency is maintained across several computers that are linked in a peer-to-peer network. So look at blockchain as a ledger or a log of everything that happens inside of a metaverse, and then look at cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Ethereum as the currency that people use to buy stuff in the metaverse. Anyways, to give some perspective as to how much demand there is for a platform like this, we have to look at the game Fortnite, because that is the closest comparable alternate reality game that we have at this time. Fortnite has 350 million users as of the last report, all who are logging about 3 billion hours of game time per month. The players of Fortnite have spent an average of $102 per person in in-game purchases, and the total revenue for the platform has ranged from $3.7 billion all the way up to $5.4 billion over the past 3 years. There are a few ways to play Fortnite, but the most common is a battle royale style where 100 players drop into a map and fight each other until the last person standing. Because of that, Fortnite does differ quite a bit from the metaverse vision, but its user base and following just goes to show that there's definitely a demand for people who would want to spend time in a metaverse. Facebook recently announced that they would be rebranding themselves as Meta, and Zuckerberg explained that that was because of their focus on building the metaverse. To me, this is what makes the metaverse concept so much bigger than just another video game, and I really believe that based on Facebook's initial vision and investment, that the metaverse is going to be a part of all of our lives in some capacity within the next decade. In a press letter the other day, Zuckerberg described the metaverse by saying, "The platform will be even more immersive, an embodied internet where you're in the experience, not just looking at it. We call this the metaverse, and it will touch every product we build." This whole idea is kind of freaky to me, and it does make me feel like Zuckerberg is trying to build out a platform where none of us ever even need to leave the house, because in the same letter, he goes on to say, "In the metaverse, you will be able to do almost anything you can imagine, get together with friends and family, work, learn, play, shop, create, as well as completely new experiences that don't really fit how we think about computers or phones today." So at first glance, the metaverse does just seem like a video game or an alternate reality, but the way that Zuckerberg explains it makes it sound more and more like a digital version of our actual reality. The last bullet from this press release that I'll share is where Zuckerberg says, "In this future, you will be able to teleport instantly as a hologram to be at the office without a commute, at a concert with friends, or in your parents' living room to catch up. This will open more opportunity no matter where you live. You will be able to spend more time on what matters to you, cut down time in traffic, and reduce your carbon footprint. So yes, it's official. Zuckerberg is just trying to lock us all up in our houses and turn us into a bunch of cooped up recluses. Very weird. There's a pretty cool video that Zuckerberg put up on his Facebook page where he spends like an hour and a half talking about what the metaverse is and what it will look like. You guys have to check it out if you're into this topic, but I'll give you a quick teaser here of him standing in his fake metaverse living room to give you a visual.
The feeling of presence. This is the defining quality of the metaverse. You're going to really feel like you're there with other people. You'll see their facial expressions, you'll see their body language, maybe figure out if they're actually holding a winning hand. All the subtle ways that we communicate that today's technology can't quite deliver. Next, there are avatars, and that's how we're going to represent ourselves in the metaverse. Avatars will be as common as profile pictures today, but instead of a static image, they're going to be living 3D representations of you. Your expressions, your gestures, that are going to make interactions much richer than anything that's possible online today. You'll probably have a photorealistic avatar for work, a stylized one for hanging out, and maybe even a fantasy one for gaming. You're going to have a wardrobe of virtual clothes for different occasions, designed by different creators and from different apps and experiences.
You get the gist of it. The metaverse is basically just another reality where we all have the superpowers to zoom all over the world and do whatever we want, wherever we want. The biggest actual metaverse right now is called Decentraland. This one is hosted on the Ethereum blockchain and is very loosely described on their website as a place to create, explore, and trade in the first ever virtual world owned by its users. The game or platform or whatever we want to call it is a place where you can buy digital parcels of land, then you can develop that land, and that is exactly what attracted me to all of this because that's exactly what I've been doing out here in the real world for the last 10 years or so. Half the fun of Decentraland is being able to develop the land that you buy into whatever you want it to be, but then the other half of the fun is being able to interact with other users on the platform at their parcels of land that they developed. If you look at the marketplace section of Decentraland's website, you will see that you can buy clothes or other accessories for your character, and then there's a section called Parcels and Estates where you can buy land. The land comes in pretty small 50 by 50 parcels, but if you own multiple parcels, you can combine them and make bigger lots and estates. There are over 1,000 parcels available to purchase right now, but if we sort by cheapest, you'll see the cheapest parcel you can buy right now is about 3750 mana, which amounts to around 12,000 US dollars. And I don't know much about shopping for Decentraland real estate, but this doesn't even really look like a good piece of land to me because there isn't even any road running to it. The estates marketplace is where the really expensive real estate is. This is where people are trying to get the big bucks for their developed lots where they combined parcels. You can see this guy, Any888, for example, who's trying to sell this block of land for 1.65 million mana. So that's like 5.6 million US dollars. Down here it shows all the parcels that this guy had to buy and combine, and it actually shows the transaction history too, which is pretty cool. This person paid 1.37 million mana back in April of 2020, but what's crazy is back then this mana cryptocurrency was only like 2 cents per coin, and now it's up to well over $3 per coin. I'm not trying to get too into the weeds here, but I just wanted to show you guys what the marketplace on Decentraland looks like and how you can buy those plots of land and then how people are capitalizing on land that they have bought, combined, and developed. And this is what's so fascinating about a platform like this, is that you can do basically exactly what people do out here in the real world, where you buy land, you develop it into something that people want to interact with, and then you sell that land for a profit. The land that is sitting by a central hub or a street or a park or some other amenity is land that has more value, and then the land that's sitting in a more remote area has less value. Because each piece of land is technically an NFT, that means that the land by definition is scarce and can never be replaced. I definitely see this concept taking off, and whatever brand takes off, whether it's Decentraland or another, I imagine a lot of millionaires are going to be made in the process. So after hearing all about this concept, hearing Zuckerberg talk about it and rename his company, and then learning that there are literally millions of dollars that can be made in these metaverses, I had to give one of them a test drive for myself. Decentraland is the metaverse that seems to be the most advanced with the largest user base at this time, so I took it upon myself to create a guest account over there and enter the metaverse. This is not a gaming channel, and I don't want to bore you guys with too much screenplay, but I have to give you a visual on how this all works. Alright, so I started by making this avatar that is supposed to look like me. I got as close as I can with the clothes and the beard and stuff. They didn't have any eyes like mine, so I just put sunglasses on the guy. You can click on this explore button down at the bottom and you can enter different areas of Decentraland. It's like different cities, and it shows you how many people are there hanging out at any given time. The most popular area is this Wonder Mine area where you can get resources and clothes and stuff. So obviously I had to come here and walk around, and sure enough, there's a ton of other people from all over the world just hanging out and figuring out how to use the game. There's a live chat on the bottom left that'll show you what people are talking about, and most of the people in here seem to be just trying to figure out how things work for the most part. I ran around some of these different areas just to get a feel for the options, and there's a surprisingly good amount of area here that's already developed with pretty cool features. And although the graphics are good, they're not quite as great as some of the video games you see nowadays. I asked the chat about where I should buy some real estate, and some guy named Kat said investing near the museum is a good plan because apparently there's just a bunch of activities over there, so I zoomed over there to check it out. The museum area is actually really cool. There's a ton of NFT galleries with people's art hanging up, and you can interact with some of the art and you can buy a lot of it too if you're into that. If you guys don't know what NFT art is, I'm not an expert myself, but it's basically just digital art that people have created on their computers that you have the option to basically buy and own just like normal physical art. So after I spent some time checking out all the art in this museum district, I teleported over to this area that they call the Deadlands. I don't know why they call it the Deadlands, but there were not very many other people hanging out in this area, but it was a pretty cool place to walk around because it just goes to show how developed some of these zones have become. In this Deadlands area, there's sidewalks and there's streets and there's tons of plants, there's a few cars, and there's buildings that house different things too, but mainly the buildings over here are just places that artists are showing off their NFTs. I don't know how much time I'm going to spend in Decentraland after filming this video, but I gotta admit it was pretty fun cruising around in there and interacting with different people from all over the world. Decentraland is already becoming something pretty cool, so it would not surprise me at all if more and more people started signing up for this alternate reality and spending more time there. After reading Zuckerberg's press release on the Metaverse, watching his promotional video, and then creating a profile for myself in Decentraland, what's my final verdict? Well, as an adult who hasn't played video games in like 15 years, I'm not gonna lie, I kinda had fun creating this avatar for myself and hanging out in the digital world for a little while. But with that being said, I did just kind of feel like I was playing a video game, so I couldn't fully buy into the fact that I was in an alternate reality. I think that as the technology improves, as the graphics improve, and then as more and more users start to join the platform, it'll be more enticing for people like me to spend more time there. As regular old people spend more time there, it's inevitable that the economies will continue to grow on platforms like this, which means that more money will be spent and more money will be made. I'm definitely bought into the idea of this being a big part of our future going forward, and whether I agree with it or not, I do accept it, and as an entrepreneur, I'm gonna be looking for ways to capitalize on it. If you enjoyed the video today, guys, if you could hit the like button down below for me before you go, that would really help me and this video and my channel out a lot. And don't forget to click subscribe before you go if you're not already a subscriber, because I'm posting new videos every week. But that's all I've got for you guys this time, so until next time, see ya!